welcome to Citizen Tarot. I'm opening up the book today. This book, Infinity in Your Pocket by Mike Flynn. It's got a bunch of random facts and sciencey things in it. So I opened it up a second ago to this 0. And I thought about it a little bit already. So the concept of 0 being that it's used as a real number, but isn't quite a real number, right? It's the idea of like, can there be nothing? But I mean, mathematics requires for there to be nothing. We use a base 10, 1 through 9, and then we start adding zeros to end things to kind of like progress even more. So you have to have this kind of, it's a thing that is and isn't. Okay, that's what I'm taking from it. A thing that isn't simultaneously. Sorry. Okay, let's start this off. I'm going to do an overall energy. I've got too many things on this table. Okay, let's try that again. Give us an overall energy for this message. Things that having to do 0, things that are and aren't. Okay. I'm really not doing this whole shuffling thing really well right now. Okay, I'm going to do 3 cards for this. And I'll let you know. Okay. So, I've got the Orphan, the Lover, and the Fault Line. The thing that pops into my head immediately, fault lines are created because of earthquakes, right? But there are parts where the earth shifts, where those earthquakes occur. So the ground is shifting, and that's where those fault lines exist. This is perhaps a past occurrence, right? And potentially, like it's whenever you look at the fault line, you're like, okay, this is where this could happen again, right? This is the spot that I could really, really see a lot of turbulence and trouble in my life and destruction, this quaking. The Orphan being in there, someone who has been abandoned, whether intentionally or not, someone who has been left. And in a sense, maybe feels that their loved ones have either just left, abandoned them, or like even they're not, like they've died in a certain way, right? They're not the same person, perhaps. Maybe they could have actually passed away. With the Lovers being in there, this seems that a lover. It seems right off the top of my head, obviously, that it's going to be about a sense of abandonment from past quakes in love. But that this love is really, really important and something that one is working on and wants to, like as an orphan, right? This hand is reaching out for this flower, reaching out for beauty, for love, for hope. It matches a lot of the pink, that pink flower tying in this Lover's card, the pink in the Lover's card with the fault line. Yeah. Okay, so we've got cracks in our ability to maybe trust, and maybe just our emotional world and well-being because of pain related to losing loved ones, whether that was is romantic or not. Okay, so we're gonna get into the tarot. I'm really not good at shuffling. I mean, I'm amazing at this. Okay, I dropped the King of Pentacles fell on the floor. It was reversed to me from my perspective. So we got a King of Pentacles in reverse. Tell us about this energy, please. Death. Knight of Wands reversed. The Star. Excuse me. And the Four of Wands reversed. This is this seems painful, whatever it is. I'm still learning tarot. This is part of my process, so I'm going to consult what this has to say. Sometimes the deck just has helpful things anyway. King of So we have someone here. The King of Pentacles is an energy of material wealth or just of value in general. It doesn't have to necessarily even be material. It can be things that you value, right? A sense of confidence, self-worth that kind of echoes out throughout one's life. Whether that be in like physical wealth or resources, whatever that may be. And it's in reverse. So you have this energy in there with the Death. So this King of Pentacles seems to be troubled, right? I'm going to see what this deck has to say about the King of Pentacles reversed. Reflect on your relationship with money and wealth, or value what you value. You may be putting money before anything else, negatively impacting relationships and well-being. Or you may mismanage your finances, leaving them in disarray. Take responsibility for your financial well-being. So it's sort of a King of Pentacles energy, but it's chaotic, right? It's like off balance. It's not doing too hot. Then you have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Knight of Wands is someone who comes in with an offer of passion and fire, like basically like manifestation power and passion. But in reverse, it's you may be acting impulsively, trying to accomplish everything at once. This may work in the short term, but long term you could end up burning yourself out or not achieving your goals. You need to constructively channel this buildup of energy. And then you have the Star, which represents wishes and passions and like goals, long-term goals. And this Four of Wands in reverse, which is sort of a home on its head. Sort of maybe your environment is flipped on its head. You don't feel at home where you are. Or someone doesn't feel at home where they are. Can you tell us more about this Knight of Wands? We got the Eight of Cups. This is someone in reverse, by the way. This is someone who is journeying on, leaving behind what no longer serves them, something that maybe it's even a sense of like having to move on, hanging your head, feeling defeated. Can you tell us more? Oh, we have a Nine of Pentacles that popped out. This is someone who knows their worth. And let me look at this deck really quick. Bear with me while I learn how to tarot. I feel like I'm getting the hang of it, but you can learn with me, right? Okay. Nine of Pentacles. You have created abundance. Now enjoy the fruits of your labors. Don't be afraid to splurge on something special for yourself. Use your wealth to create financial independence in the long term. Interesting. I'm kind of getting a sense of someone here who is in mourning of some kind or of a chaotic mindset because of a death, a hard thing, perhaps involving abandonment in their life. Perhaps it's somebody who can't seem, it's no matter, how hard they work to find love that stays, to find a sense of stability that provides them with the emotional and emotional, it mostly seems like, right? Because you have plenty, these are the pentacles. I don't know, King of Pentacles is upside down. Okay, tell us more about this Nine of Pentacles energy. We've got the Ace of Wands in reverse. This is misplaced passion. Why are we misplacing our passion? What's going on? And the Tower in reverse. I sort of relate to this read, and maybe I'm projecting onto it, but I'm just going to say what I feel from this. There seems to be a consistent sense of instability in one's life. And it's really, really hard. Oh, I dropped the book. It's really, really hard to get a grip on anything in life, on your pentacles, on your sense of value, self-worth, all that. Sense of home, a stable home, because it feels that there just really generally isn't a lot of stability in one's life. Perhaps it's gone on for a long time. Perhaps it's just happening recently, but has dragged on long enough and maybe brought up a sense of like a block in one's mind from being able to, even though you could know your worth and be like, no, I feel like I deserve better than this. I don't understand what's happening. I feel like I should be able to handle this, right? But circumstances keep you in this orphan energy, this place of lack, a sense of longing based on lack. But I keep dropping things, this tiny little desk. It's really not that small, but I have a lot of stuff on it, so. Okay, tell us more about this energy. We've got the Ace of Swords in reverse. This is something that's playing. It's like you're constantly thinking about how you can find stability, and it seems like no matter how much you brainstorm about it, perhaps there might be, blocks. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. You have 3 different aces in reverse out right now. Damn. Maybe this is like a for me reading. I'm just kidding. I know that it's really, really strange how we can all relate to the same things around the same time. Like the collective energy really is a thing. I would agree with this, being about something in my own life, but maybe it'll lead somewhere else still too. But Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Swords and Ace of Wands in reverse. With the Tower in reverse, it feels like a total restart. That's you being totally up in your head about it. All your passion is there, but it's misdirected. You don't know where to put it because it feels like everything is failing. And perhaps you're hurting financially and materially for it. So you're even more up in your head about this Swords energy and trying to figure out what to do about it. Tell us more. Damn. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, this is interesting because I'm going to read what the book has to say about it, but the 5 of Pentacles upright often denotes like someone who is out in the cold, and it feels like someone who, who is actively out there, and that's kind of like there's no real end of the tunnel in sight. Not to say that there wouldn't be, but on its head, it oftentimes represents, maybe this is coming to an end. I'm going to look at what this book says about it. Difficult times are coming to an end, particularly if you have recently suffered a major financial or job loss. You may come to find new sources of income, a new job, or someone will offer to help you out. That's happy. That's a happy energy in the midst of this right now. Can we talk more about this Five of Pentacles? You got the Seven of Pentacles. This is someone who's working hard on something. This is someone who's nurturing and growing something. Perhaps that's your passions and stuff. The trick is going to be to bring, oh my goodness, and then the card behind it was this Ace of Cups. I love this because regardless of having all these other aces out on the table that are in reverse, material, loss, up in your head, sorry, excuse me, and sort of misguided passion. It feels like it's all over the place. You, through your emotion, and I want to always pack together sometimes. I want to pack together emotion with intuition to bring it in and bring the focus in on one thing or a few things. Maybe it starts with one thing you do a day, but you focus in on something that brings you joy, this Ace of Cups, right? What is calling to you? What is drawing you in emotionally? What helps you feel better when you feel so chaotic like that? And this is a random thought that just popped up into my mind because I think about this a lot. In a world that seems just totally on its head and crazy and chaotic, like the world often feels in the past several years, if you had to imagine the world falling into an apocalyptic, chaotic phase, right? What would make you I like to categorize this in two different things. There are the people who want to survive and figure it out and will go to great lengths to survive for as long as they can, and then the other people like myself would be peace out, man, end it now, I don't even want to see this stuff, which maybe is really, really negative. But when I think about, sometimes I think about what would make me want to help out, what would make me want to stay even in a scenario like that. I don't know, that feels like a really funny thing to share, but I should heard it and maybe it's helpful to you. For me, excuse me, I think the only reason I'd want to stick around is if I knew that I could help others out, emotionally, and be able to deal with things. It helps me to deal with my own things when I help other people, which is part of why I'm into this tarot stuff. Anyway, I'm making this all about me, and I don't mean to be. This is about us. If you're watching this, this is for you. That was the whole point. But maybe think about what it is in those times that have been really, really chaotic and hard that still give you light. Okay. Tell us more about coming in from the cold. Got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is often, I think this is representative of passion and a project that you think, you've been investing in, that maybe you have kept to yourself and you're not quite ready to share with people yet, but you have invested in it and you keep investing in it. Man, I really need some water. The Magician in reverse. What does the Magician mean in reverse? I know upright, but Magician in reverse. Excuse me while I try and find the Magician in this deck like the total noob that I am. Magician. It's right at the front. Okay. Magician in reverse. You are discovering what you wish to manifest without taking action quite yet. This is similar to the Page of Pentacles. You are uncertain if you have the tools you need. Let the universe work out the how while you focus on the what. Cool, I really like that. And with that, I think I'm going to continue to the next part of this, which is action cards, taking the next steps forward. What's going to help us work on this project? I'm going to draw 4 action cards. You've got Mystical Sister. I like never draw this card, so I will have to look this one up. That's kind of cool. I don't think I've actually ever, which is funny because I've been doing this, I've been like playing with this deck for a while. I haven't had it that, I mean this deck is still fairly new, but this fell out. You have Jupiter. Action cards, stepping forward, the Drowned King. See that? Is that a good view? And whoop, the Sun. Okay, cool. I really like this. First, I'm going to look up. I'm just going to look at this Mystical Sister card that I've never really drawn before. What? Mystical Sister, okay. Sacred Ally, Anima, Outreach. Just when you thought you could traverse the alchemical path by yourself. Maybe you think you have to do it by yourself because you're waiting for things to break if you don't, right? Just when you thought you could traverse the alchemical path yourself, Soror Mystica appears. This card indicates a dear friend or sacred ally holds you in their heart at this very moment. With their support, you are able to do what you cannot do yourself. Between you exists an alchemical pact based on the ingredients of respect, honesty, and unconditional love. It's as if you have known each other for many lifetimes. You may have shared an experience from which you are always bonded. This archetype may come in any gender, age, or form. One distinct characteristic of Soror Mystica is that they practice the art of witnessing and listening. They have no need to judge, fix, or give advice. Presence is enough. When this card appears, tend to the flame of friendship. Be a mystical sister to one another. I love that, and that can apply, by the way, to anyone, any gender. We all have feminine and masculine within us, so find your mystical sister. You might already have in your head who that might be. You're probably already thinking of someone, right? Maybe a few people. I get that same way, you know? I really relate to this reading, and you like want to withdraw for fear of losing people, especially when you're not doing so hot in the head and you've had harder experiences before. But there are people out there who love you and that you can trust. And sometimes it's hard to know who those people are, but you have to put trust out in order to receive it, right? So you have Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion. It's the jolly, jovial Santa Claus of the planets. It wants to grow and expand whatever it touches. Whatever it touches, whether good or bad, can expand bad habits, but it can expand these good habits and expand thoughts and the projects you're working on, right? It can expand. It also loves, it also loves studying. It belongs to the 9th house in astrology. And that's all about, growing in philosophy and spiritual. It's one of the more spiritual houses. It wants to have a philosophy to grow by and to expand in and with. Then you have this drowned king. And the drowned king represents a sense of humble humility, right? So you think of a king, and a king is someone who reigns, right? They have power over a kingdom, and they have a say in what happens next, right? What goes on. And then you have the good kings. Everyone are like, yeah, we love this king, woo. And then the kings that are like, down with the king, right? Like, we're gonna have a revolution and overthrow this king and drown the king, right? So this drowned king is someone, you know, you can look at it in two ways. Perhaps it is a drowning or hit to the ego that is maybe in some ways have like given you confidence, but maybe it's also that confidence in certain areas while being good in some areas. In some areas, maybe you have gotten ahead of yourself, or maybe even used it to corrupt things. If that's not true about you, and you really think that, like, the drowned king is perhaps, this could be someone else also, right? Maybe it's somebody that you really, really looked up to, but felt abandoned by. You looked up to as a kingly figure, but felt misled or abandoned by or taken advantage of. They used their power in a way that was not helpful. In fact, was more damaging to you and your situation, maybe to even more, right? Drowned king. You feel like an orphan from this king. So your duty, your job in all of this is figuring out how to drown this king. Right? And metaphorically, that means, seeing it for what it is. It's really, really hard when you love someone and you can see different perspectives and you can see their perspective and their situation and have empathy for someone. It's hard to have empathy and love for someone and have them and see them in their flaws too, right? And maybe it's time to really, really look at the situation. Perhaps that involves talking with someone you trust to take this king off of his throne, take him off the pedestal, take them. It could be any gender or that has nothing to do with it. Any gender, right? Yes, and I think you get the picture. You drown it. And in doing that, I find this is interesting. So this drowned king, you have a bunch of these like golden pieces in there in this water. And in this card with the sun, you have a gold piece in the palm of your hand. Okay, that's really cool. So this king has been drowned, right? This is all the power that they had over you in your life, whether they meant to have that power or not. Something you just gave to them, but you're taking it back into your own hands by drowning this king, by recognizing your sense of value and self-worth that you already know was there, right? But this empathy has prevented you maybe from also having enough compassion and empathy on yourself. Like, you've been focusing all of your energy on someone else. It's time to focus on you and use this power in your own hands to go forward and create the things that you want to create. Perhaps, these action cards had to do with taking steps forward. What's the likely outcome of taking these steps forward? I'm going to use this deck again. What comes out of taking these action steps? Oh, the threshold. I'm going to do another one on that. The threshold of, and what? Ooh, damn. The underworld. The maiden. That's the outcome. I don't think this is the full picture yet, but we're at the threshold, right? at the threshold, of the underworld. The maiden is a character of innocence, or it's like a childlike wonder of innocence, a really feminine sort of loving, explorative, sensually, as well as just like in the world in general. But this is a very sexual card, right? Which is interesting because when you're talking about power being in your own hands, when we talk about power, you can kind of group this energy up in a sort of Martian energy, or gosh, I forget what chakra it is, but the part of you that has the drive and passion, it all comes from the same place. Sexuality, creative ability, all of that comes from the same like source of drive, right? And so you have this maiden and this outcome. Perhaps you're willing to explore again, and maybe in ways that feel maybe more taboo to you. You're allowing yourself to tune into your darker side, in a sense. And this doesn't mean in a way that when I say darker, what I mean is not evil by any means, or something that harms other people, but something that maybe you haven't allowed yourself to go into in the past. Perhaps it's even your own subconscious. You're tapping into your own subconscious as to why you put this person up on a pedestal so much in the first place. I think that's it. You got to go down into the depths to figure out why you had this person on a pedestal so much in the first place. And in doing that, you embody this sort of maiden energy and get more in tune with your own power and want childlike wonder, but also this sort of sensuality. I feel like I'm rambling on, but I think you get that. Let's see. And one more card for the projected outcome. What is this likely to end up like, taking these steps forward? Oh. There's a future. There's a future for you in love, for being a full person who's developed and grown more because of the situation. You come into your own power more. I kind of really like this card because, you have this crescent moon. The moon is something that's associated with mystery and what's hidden, which can be, that underworld, places, the depths of our minds and our psyches coming to light, right? Something that we bring back up to the surface. And these hands are holding each other, though. This hand holding another hand is happening in the shadow. So your healing comes in the shadow work of this situation that you've been through with this person. Digging down to the depths of the underworld within yourself to understand why it is that you had allowed what happened to go on for so long. Perhaps why it happened in the first place. But that might have been totally out of your control, the fact of the matter. But the thing is, I don't know how I feel about we're here to learn lessons, right? I feel like that's still like I'm like, yeah, that makes total sense. And I'm with it and for it, but I'm also like, really, to what end, right? I don't know. But if we want to go that path, which it's helpful to go that path to learn and grow, right? Perhaps this happened so that you could learn more about yourself and come from a place of self-power eventually through this process to have this future. Anything else about this kiss, this future? Justice in reverse. Three of Wands. And the Hanged Man, reverse. This is someone who is seeing a new perspective, right? They are not necessarily in the process. I mean, you will be going through this process and probably still are, but in the future you will be head up. You have a better view. Justice in reverse. Your idea of truth is distorted. Look at each situation from multiple angles to uncover the real truth. Forgive yourself for any misguided decisions you have made. Perhaps you come to find, or you have come to find, that what you thought to be the reasons why you're making these decisions or hung up on somebody or the situation, that they're not really, those weren't really the reasons. By diving into that underworld, you come to find those reasons, but you have to be open and willing to see those. And then you have this Three of Wands, which is new horizons. Get out of your comfort zone and explore new opportunities for growth and development. Cover new grounds and expand your horizons. So it's a time of growth and change for sure. We opened this up with zero, the concept of zero. Something that is and isn't at the same time. Perhaps there is something you're using as your zero, right? That's like, you have the digits 1 through 9, and then 0 is used to go on to the next level, right? It's like a placeholder. It's saying this is 1, but this is 110 now. This is 110 instead of just 1-1. Placeholder. That's what that book also said. Something that is and isn't, but is also a placeholder, really used as a placeholder. I mean, that's pretty profound. I'm just trying to wrap my mind around how exactly to think of that. Perhaps you always had a sense of lack in wherever this person has filled in your life, whatever role or position they have filled. And the pedestal, the kingliness, the level of, the value that you put on them and their relevance to your life is a placeholder for something that you never really had before, so you feel like you have to have in order to grow, right? To get from 9 to 10, to get from 19 to 20. I don't know, maybe they could be, right? I feel like there are a lot of things that we need in this world, when really genuinely need, right? And we're very, very social creatures, and we're creatures that depend on love and trust socially. And a lot of the time that comes from love, whether it be familial, friends, but oftentimes, lovers, right? Perhaps you feel like this person is your key to get to the next stage in life. And maybe you've had other people that have played that same role throughout your life that haven't worked out. And you just generally feel a lack in that department. But the funny thing about the number 0 is that if I'm remembering correctly, there are different kinds of ways that mathematics came to be over the course of history. I'm not about to give you a math lesson, but the invention of 0 really, really changed the game. I think, and we talked about the inventor who first used 0, and that really, really made things click a lot better. The 0 is made up. Okay. That means you can make up what anyone is in your life. Right? If 0 exists, but only really because we choose for it to exist, right? It both exists and doesn't, but its existence helps us to advance. That means we really get to decide what is that 0 for us, what holds that value of existing and non-existing, of helping us get to the next level. So perhaps this person holds characteristics and traits and certain promise to you based off your situation that makes you feel like they can help you get to the next stage, and you're not going to get to the next stage without them. But that is something that is made up, is assigned, right? You assigned that value to that person, even if they have those characteristics, right? That's not to say that they don't exist somewhere else and that you can't get there in some other way. We could have drawn the symbol 0 as like a line with 2 other crossy lines or whatever. We could have drawn it in a billion ways. It can look a billion different ways, but we drew it as a 0. So you get to decide what that placeholder, what that thing that helps you move forward and advance looks like. Yeah. Well, this has been a therapy session for myself as well. That's a lot of power, actually. That's a lot of power. Well, that's kind of fun. Kind of cool. For sure. Yeah, I'm gonna I got this little deck from my friend for Christmas. It's a deck of sweary affirmations. I'm gonna give you a sweary affirmation to help guide you through this process. Oh. I am my own best friend. Can you see it? Other people are total dicks. That's cute. That's funny. I love people, but sometimes I can be, right? But the whole thing is yes, taking that power back into your own hands, being your own best friend, deciding who holds the value of the placeholder, who holds the value of the 0 in your life, right? Ground 0, I'm thinking, it just popped in my head. A center point, a place to advance from, advance with. Cool. Yeah, that was I like that reading. That's all. Thanks for tuning in, and like and subscribe, please, if you like this, and also if you don't. Just kidding. See you on the next one. Bye!